Our top story at 5, getting your input about long and short-term flood strategies.
That's the goal. The Davenport Public Works Flood Survey could have a significant impact on the city's flood response plans in the long term. Let's go to that story. This survey will find out what you think about underground sewer work, adding a flood wall, and raising streets.
And the staff at Davenport Public Works is hoping input will help give them an idea of a permanent solution or at least cost-effective options.
Local 4's Taylor Bozer joins us live from downtown Davenport with how the survey will be used. Taylor.
Good afternoon, Jim and Ann. Well, the survey will be used to provide a more permanent flood prevention plan, and the more responses, the better. That's according to the Davenport's Assistant Public Works Director. Now, before the pandemic, they usually had large forums where they would hear from people in the community about their thoughts, but since the pandemic, they found different ways, and this year it's through these surveys.
A moment many in the Quad Cities won't soon forget: the historic flood of 2019.
When something happens, everyone talks about it, but then when it goes away, generally the general consensus, then it moves on to a different topic.
But for downtown Davenport,
it's a topic that never goes away.
It's actually getting worse.
In the last 20 plus years, they're happening more frequently. They're much more larger scale. And then obviously we're hitting those records a lot more frequently than they have in the past, let's say, 100 years.
That's why Davenport Public Works is asking for as many community members as possible to respond to their flood survey.
Whether you live here, you own property here, maybe you live in a neighboring community, but you travel through Davenport.
It's all to help plan for the future of downtown and help businesses like Abernathy's that had to permanently move after the flood of 2019.
The flood has been one of the best things to ever happen to Abernathy's, in hindsight, and we are very privileged to be able to say that. But it's definitely always something that's going to impact us. Our building is underwater, or our streets to get to our shop are partially underwater.
But having a more long-term plan could help in the future.
So do we want to build something that's larger than what we've ever experienced to kind of build towards the future? Is that what people are looking for? And if so, here's some approximate cost with those things, and kind of gauge the public's reaction to all of these recommendations.
They're asking people to submit their surveys by May 4th. You can find a link to that on our website at ourquadcities.com, or if you want to pick up a physical copy, you can do that at the local library. Live in Davenport, Taylor Bozer, Local 4 News.
All right, Taylor, thank you.